What was the most interesting branding campaign you've done?
Don't blow my own trumpet. I feel like it would be backdoor because I felt like the most satisfaction really would come from the designs and the branding that I did for back, because it's when it's your own thing where there's no stress involved, there's no client, so to speak, that you have to fulfill their expectations or requirements. When it's just yours, and it turns out to be a viable business as well, that shows that the branding actually works as well. So that's a different level of fulfillment for me, I would say. Of course, there are other clients that I work with which I'm happy to see the results, to see the things go up, but then it's not always 100% as something that I do on my own, for my own self, because you won't have someone else's feedback that you don't agree with, that you have to comply to, things like that. So yeah, I would say it's like that.
And on the other end, what's the most mundane?
Oh, there's a lot of mundane jobs. I mean, I don't really do complete brand. I mean, like, there are mundane jobs that I work on still day-to-day basis, like nowadays, like random writing jobs that I get for weighing machines, commercial weighing machines. I have one which is like for machinery parts, manufacture for machinery parts, things like that, insurance. But you have to understand, although these are mundane and boring, these are industries that make a lot of money that I'll probably never see in my lifetime. But then it's nice to know that, at the end of the day, they still need branding, they still need writing work, which is essential, because that's how you build a brand, so to speak. And a business would need proper branding in order to.
Let's talk a little bit about, since you have mentioned, why is branding so important? Regardless if you're a cool brand like Backdoor Bodega, or you say can I quote unquote boring brand like the weighing company?
Because I feel like it is a standard that you have to set. So branding is a long-term thing, right? It's not just the logo, it's not just the tagline, it's everything in the name of your company. So a company is one thing, but branding is usually, it's for a product. It's not a product or a service, right? Which a business provides. And sure, you can have a non-branded thing like an OEM thing, but even the manufacturer that produces these things, the OEM things, that supplies all these things, they also need to have a reputation, right? You need to make people know that you are reputable, you are of good quality, and that's where branding comes in. Because if you cannot show yourself, it's basically, you can put it as a person, you as a person. Everyone has their own branding as well, like the way you speak, your knowledge, your level of education, what you do. Although some people might say, I don't care what people think of me, but then if you are a business and you're out there to convince people to give you money for your product or your service, what people think of you really matters. So that's how I would say why branding is important.
What are some tips you can give away for businesses or even individuals who are looking to develop a strong brand image?
Don't go cheap with your designer and copywriter. I would say language. I mean, I'm not trying to say everyone needs to use English for their business, but if you are using English, make sure that it's proper English. If it's Mandarin or anything else, make sure it's a proper language. And, don't go cheap on that. Don't if you want to sell to an English market and you want your branding to be English and you want to, I don't want to pay this guy to write for me, I'm just going to try it myself. No one's going to take you seriously, because if you can't make sure that you are your own brand or own product is perfect, how can you convince people to spend their money on you?